Welcome to episode 2 of A Project About Nothing, where nonsense makes perfect sense. I hope you guys tuned in to episode 1, where we debuted our new podcast, A Project About Nothing, on reacting to Lil Wayne's Carter 6 album. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, please do. All the links are posted on all social media platforms. We have TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube up and running. So make sure you guys tap in with us and check out episode 1. Today's episode 2, and we kind of want to shift gears because there's a lot of things going on in the world of sports. Just wanted to tap in with the community and let everybody know what's going on, and definitely my take about some of the biggest sports topics going on today. First things first, obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers are in a heavyweight bout. Series tied 2-2 after a game 2 days ago, where the Oklahoma City Thunder won on the road, 111-104. SGA really pulling out all the stops in the fourth quarter, scoring 15 of his 34 in the fourth quarter to pretty much take the lead with about 2 minutes left when they didn't have the lead all game. The question I've been asking is, what does this game say about the series as a whole, and what do the Pacers need to do to come out of this, series victorious and win the NBA Finals? Now, what I think about this series is that these teams are evenly matched, but they do have different styles. OKC is definitely predicated off ball movement and having isolation game when it comes to SGA and J-Dub, and a little bit of Chet Holmgren as well when it comes to isolation. The Pacers are pretty much predicated completely off team ball. We're talking, number one team in assists with the assist leader on their roster. Nobody on that team averages more than 20 points. Pascal Siakam is leading that team in about 20 a game. Tyrese Halliburton's right there at about 19 a game. And then you have Andrew Nembhard as well, I think at about 14, 15 a game. So they're definitely spread out when it comes to their points per game and how they're operating offensively. I think each team definitely has a great shot at winning this finals. The biggest thing for me, though, is whose style is going to win out. So obviously SGA is more of a ball-dominant player, somebody who's averaging north of 30 a game, led the league in scoring this year, top 5 in steals as well, and made first team All-NBA as the reigning MVP. So we obviously know who the best player is in this series. Now, he'll have to play the best in this series to win. If you guys remember in Game 4, the game was tit for tat, and as Indiana was pulling ahead in the fourth quarter, with about 6 minutes left, SGA pretty much put a stop to everything. Again, scoring 15 in the fourth quarter and pretty much taking over that Game 4 was incredible, and it was amazing to see. And you could just tell that the energy in the building completely shifted as soon as SGA started getting rolling. You'll see a couple buckets back to back, getting to the free throw line, getting points while the clock is stopped. It gave the opportunity for Chet and J-Dub and other guys like Aaron Wiggins and Caruso to just catch a deep breath, take their time, and play their role. It allowed SGA to really take over when it mattered most. So I think that's what it's going to take for Oklahoma City to win this series. It's going to take MVP caliber performances by SGA, and then somebody's got to show up. It doesn't have to be J-Dub. It can be. It'd be in their best interest for it to be J-Dub, since he's been the second option and the second ball handler, on that roster. But Chet can do it. Chet definitely could be the second guy on the team. Maybe not right now. Maybe that's not his full development at this point, but he could definitely be that guy. And the only thing I think that Chet needs to do is obviously get in the weight room for sure, but that's not going to change from one game to the next. So it'd be in their best interest for J-Dub to be that second guy. But that is going to be their path to winning this NBA championship. SGA's got to be an MVP, play like an MVP. Doesn't mean he has to score 38 points, but he's got to be efficient, he's got to be aggressive, and he's got to get his other teammates involved. And then somebody else has to join the party. Unless Caruso's going to drop 20 and Aaron Wiggins is going to hit 5 threes again, they're going to need one of the starters to really step up and play like an all-star, or like an up-and-coming all-star like Chet, or like an all-star, first-year all-star in J-Dub. He definitely has played at an all-star level throughout this regular season. In the finals, he hasn't really had a breakout game just yet. He did in Game 3 where he scored 27, missed a couple late free throws at the end, so you can tell, unfortunately, he hasn't really taken that next step moving forward in terms of being the solidified number 2 guy behind SGA. But obviously, when you do it throughout the regular season for 82 games, people expect you to be that and play that role. So hopefully he could do that. Now for the Pacers, it's clear what they have to do to win. Ball movement, man movement, and push the basketball. If they can't score north of 115 points, it'll be very, very difficult for them to win. Because the only reason I say that is because it's very, very difficult for one person to kind of take the bulk of the shots, when for the most part of the year, they've never done that. They've never operated with that mindset. It's never been Pascal, go get 25 shots up. Then Tyrese, you could shoot 18 shots. Then Nembhard, you could shoot 10 shots. Then Nesmith, you could shoot 8 shots. It hasn't been delegated like that. So whoever has the hot hand is going to take over. Now, Tyrese Halliburton is the key in this series and is the key for the Indiana Pacers. One thing I like about what the Pacers do is they don't change the way they play based off the score of the game. They could be up 20 or down 20. They're going to play the same way. So sometimes it could bite you in the ass because obviously if you're playing fast-paced while you're up 20, it's quicker for you to lose a 20-point lead. But if you're down 20 and you're playing up and down and the other team's kind of lollygagging or they're not playing as aggressively, that 20-point lead can go like that. And we all know in today's NBA, I mean, it's obvious. A 20-point lead is really a 10-point lead in today's league with the amount of shooting and the amount of talent that these guys possess. So the Pacers really, really need to stay true to who they are, but Tyrese Halliburton has to be more aggressive. I don't like the fact that he's waiting towards the second half to be more aggressive because this is a rhythm game. That's something I want to tell you guys. When it comes to the sport of basketball, it's a form of art. Just like everything is, football, painting, music, there's so many forms of art. And with that, with art, if you talk to any artist, again, whether it's a songwriter, whether it's a painter, whether it's a basketball player, they all predicate themselves off of rhythm. You can't just expect a painter who's been probably sleeping for 8 hours, been taking flights to come out here and be the next Pablo Picasso. And same thing for Tyrese Halliburton. You can't expect him to go 3 quarters with being passive and passing the ball and taking shots here and there, and then in the fourth quarter expect him to shoot 15 shots and score 15 points. It's not going to work that way. Tyrese Halliburton from quarter 1 to the end of the game needs to be aggressive. I just saw a stat earlier and it read that Tyrese Halliburton hasn't shot his first free throws in this entire series till the last game, in Game 4. That means the first 3 games of this NBA Finals, where all the money is on the table, he has not taken 1 free throw. And mind you, he's the primary ball handler on that team. Pause again, that was wild. But he is the primary decision maker on this basketball team. And he's the one that's getting Pascal involved. He's the one that's getting Nembhard free shots, Nesmith free shots. He's the one helping Miles Turner get free and get loose. So Tyrese Halliburton has to be aggressive. It doesn't mean he has to score 30 points. That's not really his game. But if he can go get 22 and 12 and rebound the basketball, because that is one thing Tyrese Halliburton has been doing well in this series, is really rebounding the basketball, getting in the paint with the trees, and rebounding the basketball at a high rate as a guard. But you need to go get 25. You need to go get 23 and 12 because that shows that you're being aggressive. That shows that you're, attacking the defense, drawing and kicking, taking the shots that are there, not playing to lose, or not playing not to lose, but playing to win. And that is really the key when it comes to this series. Before we close out and move on to the next segment of sports that I want to break bread, I do want to give you guys my prediction. This episode will be dropping on Friday, so the series might be done by then. But I'm going to go with Oklahoma City to win this series, and the main reason why is I think they're going to play more true to their identity, and I think it's an easier outlet for them to win. They have roles that are designated for them. SGA is number 1, J-Dub is number 2, Chet is number 3, and everybody else kind of falls in line when it comes to the pecking order of what they do offensively. Obviously, if one guy has a night, one guy has a night. There's nothing wrong with that. Lou Dort had a night in Game 1, hit 5 threes, even though they lost that game. But they're willing to give guys the rock. Aaron Wiggins in Game 3 went crazy. He went berserk, or Game 2, one of them, where he hit 5 threes. So it's not to say that a guy who's on the bottom totem pole in terms of how many shots they get doesn't mean that's the amount of shots they're going to get no matter what. But the pecking order is there. So even if Aaron Wiggins hits 5 threes, doesn't mean he's going to shoot more than SGA. That's just not the facts. So they have an identity that works for them. They've been more consistent in operating with that identity. And I think defensively, I mean, I haven't talked about defense at all so far, but that's the separator for me. They're more consistent on the defensive end. They're switching a lot quicker. They're rebounding a lot better. And I think they're playing with a pace that really is conducive to winning in today's NBA, which is systematically pushing the basketball, slowing it down when needed, and then giving the ball to one of your killers and letting them go to work. And especially what they did in Game 4 with SGA scoring 15 in the fourth quarter. That's something that can really move you over to the next game and the game after and the game after. Because now mentally you understand, okay, I actually have a guy who can go get it no matter what. J-Dub could be off, Chet could be off, Aaron Wiggins can't be shooting, Caruso's not doing anything, Lou Dort can't hit the side of the backboard, but they got this guy who's going to calm everything down, slow the game down for him and his teammates, and get an easy bucket for somebody or get a bucket for himself. And when you score 15 in the fourth quarter in an NBA Finals game, that can kind of take you over the top and take you to the next level. So very, very, very excited to see what's going to happen moving forward. I think Game 5 will be tomorrow on ABC at 8:30, so make sure you guys tune in and tap in. Game 5 is going to be a huge deciding factor. And series tied 2-2. Game 5 winners win the series 80% of the time. That is a huge stat, because obviously OKC's playing at home doesn't mean they're going to guarantee to win, but Game 5 at home and they win, they'll have another chance to close it out in Game 7 if it so happens to get there. I just think OKC, with 2 games left at home, I think they're going to close this series out in 6 games and win in Indianapolis. After they win at home, I think I see Game 5 being a blowout for Oklahoma City, SGA, NBA Finals MVP, to close out one of the best guard seasons in NBA history. So make sure you guys tap in for that. Now we want to move in to our Florida Panthers, baby. Let's give them a round of applause. Round of applause for the Florida Panthers as they take Game 5, take the series 3-2, and just completely demolishing the Edmonton Oilers 5-2 in Game 4. In Game 5, I'm sorry. It is a blessing to see this. Obviously, the Miami Heat are struggling with what they're doing. We don't want to talk about the Dolphins at this point in time. And the Miami Marlins have unfortunately been a joke for the past couple years. You know, I got Inter Miami with me, so of course we definitely want to hold that down for them. Shout out to Inter Miami, shout out Leo Messi and all the great things they're doing. But obviously soccer is not the biggest draw here in America, and hockey it definitely is. And what the Florida Panthers are doing in their style of play is really conducive, or it's really a huge component on why they're winning. They are definitely taking advantage of power play situations. When they get in a power play situation, they definitely take full advantage of it. And they're scoring goals at an alarming rate. A couple games ago, they were up 3-0 at the end of one period and scored 3 goals in 3 minutes. Shout out Otero. If you guys want to make some money, go follow him on X or on Instagram. He's dropping pics daily, especially for hockey. So if you guys are looking to cash out before the end of the hockey season, make sure you guys tap in with him. Even if the season's done by the time this comes out, next season, you'll know where to go to when it comes to making some money on some hockey picks. So make sure you guys tap in with him. But the Florida Panthers are doing something special. They are turning this city into a hockey city, into a hockey town. And I never thought I would see the light of day where that were to happen with franchises like the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins. I won't mention again the Marlins, but with 2 teams that have heavy fan bases the way we do, even though Miami or Florida in general isn't huge when it comes to sports, it's obviously not Boston, it's not New York, it's not Los Angeles, it's not Chicago. That doesn't mean that we don't care about our sports teams or that we don't support them. If the Panthers go back-to-back, which in essence it's looking like they're about to do so, please, guys, give them all the support that they deserve. Going back-to-back in the NHL, it's not easy. I don't think there's been a back-to-back champion since about 2015, 2016. I'm not sure if it was, I forgot who it was. I think it was the Avalanche. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But it's very hard to win back-to-back NHL trophies, back-to-back Stanley Cups. When it comes to hockey, I think besides hockey and the Super Bowl, those are the 2 toughest trophies to win in sports. Basketball, again, I think it's really predicated off teamwork, but one guy can really take you over the top. And in baseball as well, it's definitely predicated off a team sport, but one guy can really bat 400, take you over the top, or have an ace pitcher who's really pitching out of his mind and take you over the top. But when it comes to hockey and football, that is predicated off an entire unit, due to the fact that you can have a quarterback throw for 400 yards, you can still lose. You can have a goal scorer, a left wing scorer, hit 3 goals and still lose. So it's really not predicated off one player. It's really a team thing. And for the Panthers to do what they're doing right now, after dropping some guys, picking up some guys in the offseason, finishing 5th in the Eastern Conference, and kind of running through the entire Eastern Conference playoffs, to now be up 3-2 with 1 game left to go, or with 2 games left to go, 1 game left to win the Stanley Cup, It is huge. It is big. This is big time for the Florida Panthers. It's big time for Florida sports. And definitely shout out the Florida Panthers. If you guys do win, make sure you guys all go out to the parade, because it's going to be a movie. That's a guaranteed fact. It's going to be a movie for sure. And we're excited to see what the Florida Panthers can do moving forward in Game 6. I think Game 6 will be on Wednesday at 8 o'clock on TNT, I think. I'm not quite sure what channel it's going to be on, but make sure you guys tap in, because Florida sports is on the rise, especially with the Panthers doing what they do. Guys, we're going to close this out now. This was episode 2 of A Project About Nothing. Make sure you guys tap in, follow us on all social media platforms as well. We have our TikTok up, our Instagram page is up as well. And we do have an email if you guys have any shout outs for local businesses, or if you guys are even looking for an appearance on the show, definitely shoot me an email at aprojectaboutnothing@icloud.com. I'll be more than happy to respond to you and see what we can coordinate. But make sure you guys tap in with us and subscribe to our YouTube. We definitely need that. All the subscribers, please tap in. But episode 2 is a wrap. We out.